I am Laurie Lane-Zucker, founder and CEO of Impact Entrepreneur, and we are here in beautiful Sydney, Australia for the Asia Pacific Impact Investing Summit. I'm sitting here with Abhilash. Can you pronounce your last name?
Mudaliar.
Mudaliar. And you are with?
The Global Impact Investing Network.
Okay, great, wonderful. The GIIN. Tell me about before we talk about your work with GIIN, tell me about your background in impact.
Sure. I guess I've been in the space for about 15 years now. I began my career in private sector consulting shortly after graduating from uni or college. Found the work interesting and challenging, but not particularly fulfilling, and I wanted to find a little bit more purpose in my work. So I moved to India to join what was then a very early and developing microfinance industry. And worked at one of India's first microfinance accelerators. And as the industry grew and commercialized, I transitioned into impact investing, working in one of India's first impact investing funds, making early stage investments into social enterprises. And over the years, did some work in an education social enterprise as well. And then for the past close to 7 years with the GIIN, which is a global field building organization that I can tell you more about.
Yeah, please tell me more about it. In fact, I just did an interview with the two co-founders of this summit, and they spoke about not only the GIIN's influence and inspiration in behind the founding of this summit, but also your contributions to that. So tell me about what you do for GIIN and about what GIIN is doing in this region or trying to support the birth of in this region.
So the GIIN is a nonprofit with the mission of enhancing the scale and effectiveness of impact investing. The organization works globally by providing education, tools, resources, data, membership, and networking opportunities to impact investors, both those who are already active in the space, as well as those who are curious and looking to become active, as a means to grow the practice, as well as enhance the effectiveness of practice. For the past 6.5 years, I was overseeing the research division of the GIIN, which focused on unearthing data and evidence to help impact investors make more informed decisions and understand what's actually going on in the market, to identify trends and opportunities, and use that information to more efficiently develop their portfolios and their strategies. More recently, I've shifted back home to Australia, which is home for me, where I grew up, and now I'm serving as a liaison for the GIIN in the Australian market.
So a couple months ago, was part of our webinar series that we offer to our global membership, we did a webinar focused on impact measurement and management, and one of your colleagues at the GIIN, Letitia Emmy, was participated on that panel. Really interesting, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as a research professional in this space about kind of the importance of impact measurement and management and kind of how that's been evolving, and also mention the IRIS Plus system that the GIIN has recently put out to the world.
Look, impact measurement and management is, I guess, a central characteristic of impact investing. Impact investing is centered around the idea of dual objective, to achieve a financial return, but also to achieve positive social and environmental impact excuse me, in specific areas that an investor is interested in. And so robust impact measurement and management goes to the credibility and transparency of the industry. But also, perhaps even more importantly, it provides information that can help investors continue to make better decisions and refine their strategies in response to what they're learning about their effectiveness in the field. So the GIIN is centrally committed to continuing to drive the sophistication of impact measurement practice, as well as using that as a means to maintain the integrity of the industry overall as it grows and mainstreams. IRIS Plus is a continued evolution of the GIIN's work in impact measurement and management, and it's designed as a way to offer impact investors a clear and easily applicable tool based on specific impact goals or impact themes that they have. So an impact investor can go to the Iris Plus website and identify certain impact themes that he or she might be interested in, even using the Sustainable Development Goals as an entry point. And what Iris Plus returns is all the evidence and theories of change that may apply to impact investing in that particular sector, as well as which specific metrics might be most appropriate for an impact investor to track and measure their progress against.
The Impact Entrepreneur Network has 22,000 members, and it's largely made up of entrepreneurs, investors, as well as scholars and students. So those who are in academia, either teaching or in the learning about this space. Are you following how impact investing is making inroads into, say, business schools in different parts of the world? And can you characterize for me? I'm really interested in this phenomenon of schools I'm seeing embracing the teaching of, say, both social enterprise as well as impact investing, but often they're doing it kind of as an add-on into a program that's by and large still teaching conventional single bottom line business principles and management strategies. And to me, that's troubling. Yes, there's an evolution happening here, and I think it's positive that there's that these things are entering into the curriculum. But to me, there is a profound difference between a single bottom line brain chemistry and a triple bottom line brain chemistry. And actually, I worry about students that are being exposed to both, being taught the triple bottom line, but also within a context of the single bottom line. Can you talk about any of that and where the GIIN is focusing in terms of where impact investing is and how it's being taught in school?
I think the way you've characterized it is correct. I think, on the one hand, it's obviously positive and encouraging to see many business schools around the world introduce content in impact investing and social enterprise. I think it's positive to see the growing demand for that type of knowledge and content from the next generation of business school students. But I think also the way you described it as, it's currently in most schools, it probably is an add-on or an occasional elective, rather than integrated centrally into sort of the curriculum and the fundamental theories and concepts of economics and finance. The GIIN doesn't do a lot of work directly with academic institutions per se, but I think what you're talking about is the GIIN does a lot of work in sort of broader movement building and thinking about, where does impact investing play a role in reimagining capitalism and thinking about what is the fundamental role and purpose of business and finance in society. And the broader normative shifts that are driving that type of thinking, as you're quite familiar with, is probably also the same set of drivers that's behind why the next generation of students is keen to have greater purpose in their careers. And I think as part of that shift, we're going to start seeing, I would imagine, academic researchers even start to develop models and frameworks that think about how do you integrate the considerations of multiple stakeholders, how do you integrate thinking about maximizing impact and financial performance in a sustainable way over the longer term into fundamental economic and finance theory. That could play out in a number of different ways, such as challenging conventional wisdom around the idea of things like externalities, even being something that should exist, or challenging the conventional wisdom around utility maximization being the same as wealth maximization. And those types of fundamental things that we kind of assumed to be given are what ideas such as impact investing are challenging.
Abhilash, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it, and good luck with your great work.
All right, great. Thanks, Laurie.